killing it right there. He said, "Yo, I ain't playing games. You're not winning. Sorry."
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and I left this part out. So even before he said that, he told 3 stories. And they all had a very clear point. And it was not subtle at all. Trump is like a genius at this. It was so masterful. So Yates, indicates that he's going to run.
What are the 3 stories? You don't have to say specifically.
Yeah, I'll just list them off.
Well, okay, go ahead.
It was a story about, I think, Kodak Black, who got freed, and was it Sweden?
He pardoned him for his felon charge, yeah.
So it's Kodak Black.
Possession, yeah.
Yeah, and it was the basketball player in China who got charged, and he secured that guy's release.
LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball's son.
Okay, D'Angelo Ball. Okay, yep.
Jello.
LeAngelo Ball.
Jello, yeah.
Right,
there you go, yeah. And it was those 2, and it was a story about Alice Johnson. And the story went something. So he starts out and he goes, I'm not going to tell the full thing, but this is the gist. So he goes, yeah. He goes, are you still with your wife? Are you still attracted to her? You still love her? And he's like, yeah, of course, And he goes, I want you to tell her that she's a disgusting human being. He goes, exact words.
Whoa. To Kim K?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's right, though. She is a disgusting human being.
But here was the justification. He goes, because you know what? He goes, I freed Alice Johnson, and then she goes and endorses Biden. She's a disgusting human being. I want you to tell her I said that. He goes, I was like, bro, that's his wife. That's his ex-wife. Then he goes in a story about Kodak Black, and he goes,
I thought he meant Kim K. Or did he mean Kim K too?
What do you mean?
No, Kanye's current wife, which is
the ex-wife, Kim Kardashian.
Okay, so
he said
they're broken up.
Yeah. That's what I meant. So he said Kim K is disgusting, and then who's the other person? Alice Johnson.
And they freed Alice Johnson. Kim Kardashian helped secure Alice Johnson's
commutation. All right, there we go. Okay, because I remember that she went to the White House to pardon somebody, but I didn't know who it was. Alice Johnson that she got pardoned.
And so he basically said, like, I would never have released her if I knew Kim would have endorsed Biden. And then
there we go.
Okay. So this is the moral of the story. Next story about Kodak Black. He goes, I freed Kodak Black, and he told the whole story. And by the way, this is the other thing that was like jarring. This is what made me think he was going to hit us, is because the whole conversation was so cordial. He starts telling these stories and starts dropping F-bombs, like every other word, like a mafia boss. He goes in and he's like, so I told this fucking motherfucker this. And I'm like, this is the president. Like, and you've heard him swear at the rallies. It's kind of kitschy.
Yeah.
But this is like some serious, like Casino. It's like Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Just to the story is, I would have never freed Kodak Black if I knew how disloyal he was, that he went and said all this nasty stuff after I got him freed.
Are you serious? He did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Same thing after China. He said about the and this one was even better.
It's not easy to get a presidential pardon either.
No. Yeah. Well, and that's what Trump said, is that he went to great lengths to secure his release because these guys were in real trouble.
What was Kanye doing when he was coming at him like that? Was he just sitting there like?
Well, remember he wasn't with Kim no more. He's like, yeah, she probably is a fucking.
No, but you could tell he was visibly angry, right?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's one of these like power plays. You know how these political people are, like, they're not. It wasn't imminently obvious in that moment that like he was attacking us, that he was sending a very veiled threat.
Yeah.
I think by the end it was pretty apparent what was going on, because in the moment we're like, whoa, he just switched up and is telling this really weird story all of a sudden. But by the end of it, we're like, oh, that's what he meant. And so the third story was about the basketball player, and he said, the basketball player was brought out on the tarmac, because the president was there for the revolution's anniversary or something, big state visit, a lot of flags and everything. And so and this happened at the same time. And Trump said that the Chinese would not free this guy at the same time that Trump left, because they said, you're not going to embarrass the president leaving at this, you disgrace. You're not going to leave the same time he leaves on this big state visit. And so Trump says that after his plane took off, the Chinese brought the basketball player on the tarmac and slapped him across the face.
Really?
The Chinese official did.
Oh, wow.
And said, you embarrass the president. Don't you dare embarrass the president.
Wow.
And Trump said, and the father goes out and thanks everybody other than me. Trump said, I never would have pardoned him. I would have let him rot in China if I knew they were going to do that.
Wow.
Now, what's the moral of the story in all these cases?
They backstabbed him.
Disloyal black guys, where Trump did him a favor and these people embarrassed him and stabbed him in the back. And it's like, and obviously that's relevant to the later conversation about, will you be my running mate?
Will you be my running mate?
And so when Trump says, you can't win, this and that. And then he basically threw us out. He's like, what time's your flight? I'll walk you out. It's right across the street.
Wow.
And then refused to take a picture with Ye.
Oh.